Got it.
Yep. Um, Let me show that real quick.
It's the Ferrari.
Yeah.
Ferrari, right. It looks like that. Obedience in the fast lane. We're on day 2.
Yeah, I
Oh,
found it. It was just down a little ways on mine.
Okay,
So,
great.
yeah.
Thanks, Kara.
All right. All right. So are we ready to start rolling? All right. Day 2. Say yes before it makes sense. By early 2023, I had been saying something bold for a while. And he quotes, once this business is fully mine, I am going to tithe off 100% of it, not just my half. It sounded strong. It sounded surrendered. In March 2023, my partnership was close to ending. The split was not yet finalized, but it was clearly coming. In the middle of that tension on March 15th, I received a call from a local gentleman. His father-in-law had passed away, and he asked if I would be interested in buying his collection of Dodge Vipers. Of course, I said. Of course, I said yes. Because of logistics, I could not get out of there right away. A couple of weeks passed before I finally stood in front of that collection. On April 5th, I made them an offer. In reality, I structured it so they would actually make more money by consigning the cars with me instead of selling them to me outright. The truth was simple. I did not have the money to buy the whole collection, and I did not want them to see my cards and walk away from the opportunity altogether. It was Easter weekend, and the owner told me he would talk with the family over the holiday and get back to me on Monday. That Easter, our church kicked off a series called Stop Controlling That. The message went straight at the places we say we trust God, but still grip for control. One of the big areas, finances. The heartbeat of the message was this: you are putting more security in money than in God you claim to trust. And as long as you try to control it all, you will never fully surrender it. One of the anchor verses was, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. I knew God was pressing on something deeper in me than just being wise with money. That Monday after Easter, the call came. They did not want to consign the Vipers. They wanted to sell the whole collection outright for $357,000. Out loud, I said, okay, not a problem. Inside, I was thinking, I have no idea how this is going to work. That same night, I went to lead our men's group, driven to find God every morning. I'm sorry, that was the name of the group, Driven to Find God. Every Monday, we circle back to the Sunday message and dig deeper. We were talking about control, trust, and what it really looks like to surrender when life and money are on the line. And right in the middle of that conversation, something happened. It was as if the room went quiet in my spirit. The guys were still talking, but I zoned out and heard God loud and clear. What I sensed him saying was this: don't just talk about faith and obedience, show them in real time how it works. Then it got specific. Remember how you've been saying that once the business is all legally yours, 100% of the tithe is mine? I want you to catch up the tithe from the beginning of the year now and give the full 10% as if it is already all yours. That is where everything I had been pushing to the side came crashing to the front. From January through March, I had not actually paid out my tithe yet. Not because I did not believe in it, I did. But cash was tied up in inventory, and with us still being 50-50 partners, any personal draw I took from the business meant my partner was entitled to the same amount, and I knew he was not going to turn around and give his half away. So instead of pretending it did not matter, I kept a ledger. I tracked exactly what I owed. My portion of the tithe at that point was $17,404. That was my half in my mind. I had been waiting for the partnership to officially end so I could start honoring what I had been saying out loud, tithing off 100% once it was legally all mine. But in that moment, God cut through my logic. Don't wait until it is comfortable on paper. Don't wait until the contract is finished. Act now like it is already mine. Then came the part that really stretched me. Double it. Don't just give your half, give his half too. Give the full 10%. That pushed the total to $34,808, not just the $17,000 that I already knew I owed, but the full amount as if the business was already entirely mine. Right then, I finally looked at what was actually in our operating account. There was only a little more than $12,000 sitting there. So here's where I stood: a $357,000 Viper collection on the table, a partnership closing to splitting, a tracked tithe balance of $17,404, my half, God asking me to give both halves, totaling $34,808, and only a little more than $12,000 in the operating account. He simply wanted me to answer one question: do you trust me enough to obey before you see how it all works out? Sitting there in that room, I knew this was a line in the sand moment. I said in my spirit, yes, Lord, I will give it. I will give both halves. I do not know how you are going to fill the gap, but I will do what you are asking. And I know this was not just for me. God was not only calling me to obey, He was inviting these guys to watch what happens when someone actually does. When I came back into the room, the guys were looking at me. Dude, are you okay? I smiled and said, yeah, but I need to tell you what just happened. I walked them through it: the upcoming split, the Viper collection, the tithe I had been tracking from January through March, the way God pushed me from my half, about 17,000, to the full $34,808, and the fact that there was only about $12,000 sitting in the account. Then I told them, I do not know how this is going to play out, but I am saying yes, and I promise I will keep you updated. Let us watch together how God shows up. That night, the numbers did not magically change. No surprise wire hit the account in that moment, but something shifted. I stopped just talking about faith and stepped into a place where if God did not move, I was exposed. Obedience came from obedience came before clarity. Yes, came before a safety net. And in the next part of the story, which we will unpack tomorrow, God began opening doors in ways I never could have engineered. Obedience is our responsibility. The outcome is God's. Craig Groeschel. So, to reflect and apply, is there an area where you have been waiting for things to feel safer before you obey what you already know God is asking you to do? The next question: are you holding on to your half, your control, your plan, your security, while telling God, once this is all lined up, then I will surrender? The next question: what would it look like to say, yes, Lord, now, before the numbers, timing, or details add up? Take a moment and ask Him honestly. And here's the prayer: Lord, where am I still trying to control the outcome instead of trusting you with obedience? Show me one step you are asking me to take today and give me the courage to say yes. And then write that step down, even if it does not make sense yet.
Awesome. Do you want to read the verses too? Isaiah 55.
Oh, those are back at the very beginning. I see. Yes, of course. Um, Isaiah 55, 8 and 9 says, my thoughts are nothing like your thoughts, says the Lord, and my ways are far beyond anything you could imagine. For just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. 2 Corinthians 5, 7, for we live by believing and not by seeing. Hebrews 11:8 says, it was by faith that Abraham obeyed when God called him to leave home and go to another land that God would give him as his inheritance. He went without knowing where he was going. Deuteronomy 8:2. Remember how the Lord your God led you through the wilderness for these 40 years, humbling you and testing you to prove your character and to find out whether or not you would obey his commands.
Awesome. Well, I have a real life story about that, and I think most of you probably know it, but 17 years ago, when Kirk was feeling called into ministry, but he owned a business. It was a very successful business, and he had about 10 weeks off every year. He was making three figures and we were comfortable. And I was doing well in Mary Kay. We were kind of hitting top director and then not for a couple of years and then hitting it again. So we were doing good production. Um, and all of a sudden, like things just started happening. His partner who owned 49% of the business in sweat equity, no money, but just he was working more than Kirk and he was doing more things for the business. He didn't buy in or anything like that. He he brought a check to him and said, "It's time for you to pursue ministry. Here's a check for 51% more of the business." And there's a whole lot more to that story, but basically, overnight, um, we we didn't have a business anymore except Mary Kay, and we used the money to pay off debt. I remember the next day or two, Kirk went to three different banks and paid off three different things. And the only thing we still owed on was our house. And we had taken out a 15-year note and we were on like year 8 or 9. And so we were ahead on our mortgage. And at that moment, we were like, wow, because Mary Kay was not paying all of our bills. And even, I mean, we realized that once we paid off some things, that Mary Kay could keep food on the table and make the house payment. But that was it, unless I grew my business. And the girls were getting very involved in school. And I was a very involved working from home mom. And for an entire year, Kirk didn't even know what ministry he was called to. And I remember there were moments that there was like 10 cents left in the checkbook. And I was the one tempted to not tithe. Kirk always wanted to tithe. And I was in fear. Like, I was like, yeah, but if we tithe, we're literally going to have no money. And he did it anyway. And I'm so thankful for a godly man in my life, because no telling where I would be right now. But because of that, I know God blessed the ministry, and we never missed paying anything. We were down to the wire many months, but we never went hungry, and we never missed a payment on anything. And years later, he started you know his missionary work, and he was starting to make a paycheck, and things were working out. But I'll tell you, until you're at that moment where you're you're only standing on faith, you don't really know what faith is until you're only standing on the faith that you have. And there has been many times, and I'm going to tell you, this last year, when I went into when I went into the ministry with him, was one of those moments. Everybody thinks we're crazy, like 17 years ago. What do you mean? What do you mean you're selling your business and you're not working? Like, as head of the household, that didn't really make sense to people. But God doesn't always make sense. He asks for your obedience. And because of that, we have been highly favored and blessed. And we may not, have a ton of money in savings. We may not have a ton of retirement, but I will tell you that we are not going hungry, and we are highly favored and highly blessed. And I believe that is because of our obedience. And even though it's hard, it really stretches your faith when that's all you're standing on. And so that I could really relate to that story, because I mean, we were there. We've been there several times. And probably some of you guys were too. I'd love to hear your stories. Anything anybody wants to share? All right. Well, thanks for sharing, Kira. If you got my message today, you know that there is a spa suites night coming up Thursday night. This will be a really great night to invite your customers to because we are going to have prizes. It's going to be a bingo night. So it's going to be lots of fun. Everybody's going to be in the same room, just like we are right now. Okay. No separate suites. And we're going to give away prizes and we're going to talk about all of the summer products. So it'll be a really great night for your customers. Now, on VIP customers, I have made an event, and on our unit page, I have made an event. So you can copy the information, send it out. If they're in the MK VIP customers, they've gotten an invitation, and all you have to do is reference that or resend them, re-invite them, and say, hey, I was thinking of you. I thought you'd enjoy this. It's going to be a great night for that. So any questions on that Thursday night event? Okay, I was telling Elisa and Kira that we got back from our 2-week trip to Wyoming late last night. And this morning, I went to pick up my mother, and my car would not start. So my husband had to run me to their house. And when I got there to borrow their car, it wouldn't start as well. 2 cars today wouldn't start. And then I ended up with my dad's truck. And so I went to my appointment, took my mom with me, and then I had to pick up stuff for my dad because I had his truck. So it has been a Monday. I just got home not too long ago. So I was definitely not prepared for tonight, but I'm hoping that y'all have some questions about the new products or about the new foundation. We can go over that. I also have a prize to give away. This month we already have 5,000 wholesale in, which equals out to 20 entries. So that is really exciting. I'm going to update my board now that I'm home. I'm going to update my board this week and get everybody going on the miles to Caddy. And I'll tell you today, being on the phone with the company and the fleet department, if you're not a Cadillac director, they just don't take care of you as well as they do if you're a Cadillac director. And so I was a little frustrated today because in the end, if I have to get a, what do you call that? Like a tow to the dealership, it's on my expense, which would have never been that way in a Cadillac. So I was like, maybe I really do want to earn a Cadillac again. So definitely a different experience for sure. But anyway, Kira, I know you have a question. So why don't you go ahead and fire away? And then that might bring up some other questions.
Yeah, so I had a customer text me this afternoon, and she's wanting to get with me and set up a time to go over the new anti-aging lines that Mary Kay has come out with. And so she said, just let me know when we can get together.
Okay. Do you know what she's talking about? Is she talking about the barrier restore and the retinol and the
All of the above. I think she is an information gatherer, and so
okay.
she is going to want to know every little detail about every single product that we have to offer her when
Okay.
it comes to anti-aging. So I need to be able to lay it all out
Great.
in very detailed.
Let's go to the website. Let me show you where you can get that information. So this is In Touch,
Mhm.
and you're going to want to go to Business Tools
Mhm.
and then go down to Document Library.
Okay.
And then on the left-hand side, you're going to see all kinds of different information here that you can gather.
Okay.
Product fact sheets are going to be important for different products, product knowledge, and skincare for all those things. So let's just see which one is going to be the most helpful. So let's see. Here's the new products. Here
Yeah,
is the retinol. So all you have to do then is print this out, or you can even share it. See up here where it says share?
I do.
You can share that too, or you can download it onto your computer.
Okay.
So these fact sheets are great. They just don't have every product in a fact sheet. So
Okay.
here is the retinol, which if she is a product guru, she's going to already know a little bit about retinol. Um, and this retinol, you know how our last retinol was, it was strong, so you had to do the retinization process. Well, now that it's 0.3 instead of 0.5, there is no retinization process necessary.
Mhm.
And so they can use it like right away, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Uh, this is going to be one of the best products for anti-aging. And if they're super dry, this can make their skin a little bit drier. So they're going to want to add probably the hydrator booster, the HA ceramide. Um, and then we also have, the boosters, we have the dynamic wrinkle limiter, and then we have the barrier restore. So there's lots of options for sure.
Okay.
Um, let's go back into business tools, document library. You can also, oh, I don't want my favorites. I want the fact sheets. There we go. So you can definitely search in the search engine bar. Or like here is the deep wrinkle filler. We just looked at the retinol. You can show more there. But if you're not seeing what you need, you can definitely do a search.
I think she's mainly interested in all the new products that have come out that are anti-aging.
The new ones, as far as this quarter, the quarterly products, we don't have anything that's new that's anti-aging.
Yeah, that's
The new foundation, but that's not really anti-aging.
no, it's not. Because she is, I mean, she does want to reorder her CC cream,
Okay.
um but yeah, she just said I would like to set up a time to go over the new anti-aging lines that Mary Kay has come out with. So I think it's just she's I think she's just wanting to know more about probably the Time Wise repair line, as well as all the supplements and things that go along with that. So
Sure.
you kind of start at the top and then you
Yeah, I would definitely start with the repair line, and then I
mm,
would go to the dermocosmetic or the clinical solutions, which is going to be the barrier restore and the boosters and the retinol. Those are the dermocosmetics. Those are going to be the strongest products that we have for anti-aging.
the dermacosmetics
Yeah,
is what you're
which
saying.
is the clinical solutions. Can you see
Okay.
my lookbook? All of these products right here on the lookbook,
Okay.
clinical solutions, which includes that. So this is the first thing is the fact sheets. Then product knowledge has a few things, paraben free, which was something I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. Not necessarily paraben free. I'll tell you that in a second. How to read a day code, medical reimbursement, product packaging, no touching policy. So those aren't really anything you're gonna want. Skincare. So this is gonna have something. So right here is the overview of the clinical solutions or the
Okay.
boosters.
Right. The boosters.
And then here is the retinol, the wrinkle limiter, and the restore, barrier restore. And that's all in one fact sheet. So that's going to be a great resource for you. That
Okay.
is,
Yeah.
that was under, skincare.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yes, very. Thank you so much.
Hey, you're so welcome. Any other questions you guys might have for me?
I have a question.
Head.
Um, so you know how they've changed the product replacement to only a year,
Yes.
right? Okay. Am I freezing? Because I'm
Yeah.
staggering on my side.
Yeah, you are.
So sorry. Gotta love this internet. Okay. So like if you can only do it for a year, I've got product on my shelf that's older than a year. How's that gonna work?
Um, yeah, that's a good question.
Because it still has a 3-year shelf life, right?
Yeah. I would say you could, I mean, you could exchange it for them, but then you're going to have to write it off. There's not going to be a way for you to get returned product.
I'm not understanding that though.
So if it's over a year old, I think it's a year from, is it a year from their purchase or a year from your purchase?
Well, that's what I want to know because my personal bottle of foundation like split at the top, and so you can't squeeze it anymore. And so I went in to do a product replacement and it said it was too old. And I'm like, I know I've not had this 3 years. So
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, you know,
Yeah, I think Alicia Gibson just ran into this too. Um, Let me see if it says anywhere on here.
but I guess that kind of goes into the day code, you know, of knowing.
Yeah. Let's look under day code. That's a good idea. What was that under? Product knowledge, I think.
Well, I mean, when you do the returns, it's under orders. So
Hmm.
mm,
I don't know the answer to that question.
okay.
Um,
I was trying to see if I could find the day code thing.
I will see if I can find it, find the answer to that and get back to you. Because she was asking me the same question and I was like, I'm not really sure. And so I had her call the company and I'm not sure what she came up with. Let's see if we can.
Well, I searched for day codes and it seems like it's trying to take me to somewhere, but I don't.
Okay. I'll have to see
Yeah, that's just
what I
like
can find out. Let me see. Let me try one more thing.
okay. Maybe I'm clicking on the thing.
I can't find anything on it on InTouch, which makes me irritated because I feel like if that's the thing, they should make it very accessible. But I'll reach out to some of my I'll reach out to some of my director friends in the top director group and see if anybody really knows.
Because like I went to product replacement thinking there might be a link in there with the day
Stay in
codes,
there.
and it's not in there.
Okay. I'll see what I can do to find out. That's a really good question.
Yeah, just when I clicked product replacement, it just takes you right into how to do it, like to do it.
Yeah.
So which for me, I mean, it's my tube, so I'll just cut it open and I'll
Yeah.
just put it in something else. But if it was a customer, that would be a different issue.
Yeah, it is definitely an issue. I mean, I have the same thing. I have the same, I mean, I have product that's a year or older than a year too. So I don't know the answer, but that's definitely something that's been on my radar. So let me make a note. Okay. Any other questions? I have our first drawing of the month. Let's see here. I have look at this cute thing. It is it hangs on your rear view mirror. Isn't that cute? It's pink. I
Oh,
really wanted to kind of keep it myself. Okay. I love your pink shirt, by the way, Kira. It's so pretty.
Thank you.
Okay. Our winner is Mindy Mitchell. Congratulations, Mindy. Yay. Mindy lives in Texas. Same state as Kira. She's from Midland, Texas.
I was going to ask where. I know exactly where that is. We used to go out there for football back in high school.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, did you know our seminar is in Fort Worth?
No, I did not.
It's in August. It is in Fort Worth, and I'd love for you to go since it's in Texas again. And I was going to see if she would go. I don't know if she would come or not, but I think that's not too far from her.
What are the dates?
I can tell you. It is August 13th through 16th.
13 through 16?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that they were able to get it back more central, at least for, I mean, I know that doesn't help a lot other ladies, but I like that.
Yeah, I mean, even from us, it's not that far, really. It's like 6 hours. So last year was in North Carolina, so I think it's way closer. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So I have had some good feedback on the foundations. I don't know if I told you guys last week or not, but my foundations came to Wyoming. The box had been ripped open and half of my foundations were gone. So I didn't actually I did try it and I really liked it. It does seem lighter than our current matte and luminous, but the matte is definitely drier. So, and I've heard that across the board. So, one thing I've been asked is what demos do you do? Well, I chose to do demos in matte because most of my customers use the current matte foundation. Well, it's drier. So if you have consistent, more normal to dry customers than combination to oily, you might want to consider luminous demos instead of matte. I was talking with some other directors today and they aren't oily like I am. And so they've actually gone to the luminous foundation, which I definitely won't do the luminous foundation. I don't think, but I'm drier than I have been before, but I'm really excited about the matte foundation because I am oily. and it's oily for me now. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I am shiny, and I mean, I've had it on all day, but I haven't used my blotting tissues, so I feel a little shiny. So I'm excited to see what this matte foundation does for me. And I have my box here. I just haven't had time to open it up. So hopefully I'll get that open and get some videos done this week. But I just wanted to give you that tips. Also, the foundation matching guideline that has the current matte and luminous foundations and how it transfers over. Everyone seems to think that those are right on track. So I did make an album with the foundation information in there. So if you haven't seen that, be sure to go to, I'm trying to pull it up on my phone, but I can't find it. I took so many pictures in Wyoming. I'm looking for it. Oh, I think this is it. It looks like this. So this side right here is the current shades, and then it transfers them into the new foundation shade. And the title is Time-Wise 3D Foundation New Shade Conversion. That seems to be on target for most people. So try that. Don't forget also, I did this with my little party in Wyoming. She took the test on my website, and she actually came up with the CC cream. And she was like, "Oh, I didn't want the CC cream. I wanted the matte foundation." So we actually tried the matte foundation on her, and she ended up going back to the CC cream. So the actual test was actually right. Like that's really what she wanted. And so I thought that was really interesting. I had not watched somebody go through the process of that test or that matching, AI matching, and it was right on target. So I thought that was pretty cool. So any questions about those?
And you said that we can find that conversion chart under InTouch.
You might be able to find it on InTouch, but I put it under our albums in our Facebook group. There's a
Oh,
little
okay.
album that says foundations,
Yep.
new foundations.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for giving me lots of content to talk about tonight. Code word. We need some code word here. I need a code word. Hi, Spring. Good to see your face. What is our theme this month? I'm really bad. Somebody pick a code word.
Code word Ferrari. Oh, sorry.
Foundation. Foundation.
And Ferraris. How about that? We're going fast with foundations and
The
Ferraris.
2 F's.
I was actually thinking obedience, but that's okay.
CJ's going to be like, just pick one, really.
Word.
Awesome. Okay, let me take your picture real quick. Smile. My camera is kind of dirty. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
I mean,
All right. Dear Lord, thank you so much for these smiling faces tonight and a beautiful end to my crazy day. But it's good to be home. Good to have my tweezers and my mattress. If you did not see my Facebook page, it's good to be home and with my home girls. So thanks for a great trip and safe travels. And I just pray that as this new product comes out, that we'll be patient with our customers, patient with ourselves as we're figuring out foundations and all the things that have to go with that. And Lord, I pray that you fix my car with zero amount of money, and that hopefully it's an easy fix. So, Lord, I just give that over to you right now. We love you, Lord, and we thank you for all the goodness that you pour into our lives. I pray that we will be strong in our obedience and our faith and in just our trust in you. We love you, Lord, and I pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Bye, guys. I love you. Thanks
Bye.
for being on.